Okay. Um, I believe we all know that the level of citizenship participation has diminished greatly. And I'm not just talking about the election period, but I also believe that we are in a great crisis when it comes to people believing in the political system, and I haven't seen much change. We've seen many promises, we've seen people with great character being in the political system, but we've seen too few, and the system is so big and so heavy that we end up just losing interest. It is not adapted to the way of life that we have. However, there are solutions, and there is one specific one that is called participative uh, system, or policy if you prefer. The name is very straightforward, and it's to allow citizens to participate at every level of our municipal or political system. There are a few places that have put this into application, and it has shown its potential. There have been quite a few years of it being in place. Sorry. The question here is, at what degree could we put it here in a very immediate way to electrolyze the population to be willing to slowly, gradually be interested, to get back into the flow of all the elements that touch us every day. In other words, we need people in the rooms connected to what's going on, deciding for their own faith. And we're at that level. Now, when they created the boroughs, it was with the intent of connecting citizens. And there has, to a certain degree, been a result. I'm sorry I hesitate on this because I find it to be very small. Now, there is the participative budget. Sorry if I'm not using the correct words, but the intent is pretty much that, to have a budget that is managed by committees that can be implemented and adapted to what people want. Now, that's a way of saying, well, we'll give you what you want, but we'll put you aside, and you'll have to tear each other out to get a dime out of that little budget for whatever organization or need that you have. And that's just insane. The principle of participative system or policy is based on a system of absolute transparency and accessibility by citizens, meaning they are not just spectators, and they are not just there to give out their opinion, but they can actually stop activities, they can actually propose original ideas that can be implemented. They can participate in the day-to-day management of the city to see where the budget goes and how things are done. The idea is complete and utter presence by the citizens. Now, the idea, like I said before, has been around for quite some time. There are quite a few organizations that have been promoting this and are fighting for this. But I believe that as a municipality, we need to have a dynamic of putting it into place. Now, the quickest solution, the fastest and most economical and the most realistic, is to use what our society, what citizens have been using for quite some time and is growing and becoming more and more powerful, is social networking. The combination of the internet and the political system is something of the future, but the future has to be now, because timing is running out. The environment is losing that time, and our economy is becoming heavier and heavier, and we're always paying the bill without getting much results. Now, social networking is a powerful tool because it is adapted to the needs of the people, and they are the ones promoting it, using it, and interacting on it. And it is my strong belief that a political system needs to be at the height of its citizens. It is to be the tool that would allow us to go where we need to go. It is not meant to be a break. And right now, it is a break. So it needs to transform itself. It needs to evolve. And this is the quickest way, considering the rules. Now, the laws need to be changed, and the mechanisms need to be changed, so this participative system can be pushed to the extreme of voting on many issues via the internet or your cell phone or whatever medium that you deem well connected to, being able to interact with whatever you consider to be an issue that you want to fight about. So there's a definite point here that needs to be brought ahead, is that regardless of what we do, we seem to always come back to the formula of people promising great projects. But the other candidates seem to forget that basically, fundamentally, the reason why they even have a clue of what needs to be done is simply because people told them, and those people are citizens. And instead of having an intermediary, well, the political system needs to be there to facilitate, to help, to orient, not to dictate, not to decide, not to filter, and certainly not to encourage the few that have invested, but those that are stuck to live the problems every day. Now, the sooner we put ourselves in a position to impose our will, and the sooner we will have a city that is cut to what it should be, basically what the citizens want. And this is the basic rule. So I could, and I have, studied the basic problems, and I have lived the basic problems that this city has for several years. And what do you want us to say? You want us to propose, to make a promise, to reassure you that we're going to be good people and good citizens? And yet again and again, even during this election, we see awful things, people doing things that are questionable in the parties that are proposing their candidacy or that are in power. We need to wonder what kind of future we want, and those that are working for this new system should be allowed to have a voice. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm just in a position to talk about it more and to put it into place if elected. But what's scary about this is, what are the other candidates going to do? The clear message has to be that if they want people to start voting again, if they want people to believe in the system, then people need to be everywhere at every level, and they need to be given the real citizen right to intervene and to stop what they believe is important. And together we need to sit down and really talk about the issues without outside interference, and we need to decide our future. So I invite you on the 1st of November to vote and to encourage this system and to state your position about the future by saying it has to change. Thank you for your time.